Good evening, good evening, good evening. And you may so say welcome, good evening, Akwaba. I will ask that if this is the first time watching, the only thing I ask is share the video. Okay, let your platform receive it. Let your circle of network also have a copy. So you know what? We're actually comparing note. We are going to compare note. Today, I'm going to be speaking with my own son. Canada, the second generation. You'll be the first generation, right? You came here from Ghana,
Yeah.
so I'm talking to Kwame. I mean, Kwame has been my son since when? I don't know. You babysat my children.
Yeah. Long time.
We for a very long time. We'll be talking about how life works here versus Ghana, how easy it is to live in Canada or how difficult it is to live in Canada. What are some of the things like myself we missed? Your mom, oh, great,
Oh wait.
great,
Oh my goodness. Oh,
great. Just as you're thinking about privacy. Anyway, guys, if you're here for the first time, please share the video. Okay, we're gonna be having conversation. Please compare notes. Okay, and then share with your friends and ask your friends to also share the video because we're gonna be talking about series of things here. Uh, Okay, I'm on for Monfanche Mewai. Forgive me. Kwame Akwaba, welcome. Kwame, would you like to speak Tree or English? Kwame,
I'm
over try so we can trick kakra.
gonna speak to the English. Michi and yeah, it's not that good.
Uchi ni nya papa ohu.
No, no.
Okay. So, welcome. Can you tell us about yourself? Like I know I've introduced you, but
Yeah, again, apologies for all that noise. My name is Kwame Odro Owusu. I was born in Ghana. Came here to Canada at the age of 7 years old, and I've been here for pretty much 30 years. Came here, right? Didn't know speak the language, but through the education system here, I managed and I progressed. Um, Coming here, I think the biggest thing that as a young Ghanaian boy you try to do is always make worth of your parents' decision to bring you here, right? Not necessarily follow their dreams, but obviously have your own. But just don't. The disappointment is the word I would use in this sense, right? You just want to be able to take advantage of the opportunity you have in this country because, like I said earlier, as a plumber, you can make as much as a doctor in this country. So the opportunity is there for you if you're willing to work and put in that time. Then anything is possible here.
beautiful, beautiful. So you said you came here since the age of 7. So
Mhm.
basically for 30, so you're 37. Where are you at the 37 years old in terms of education? Do you
Mhm.
have a university degree in Canada?
No, so it's interesting because amongst my siblings, my older brothers, I'm probably the least educated in the sense of schooling, right? I didn't go to university. I went to college. I didn't get the highest marks, but I made sure I passed and I graduated with a degree, a diploma. But for me, what I have is I have diligence and I work hard, right? Like again, it's one of those things that um, my education. I went to school for a little bit about it. I went to school for policing. To matter of fact, I wanted to be a cop, and coming out of high school, I wouldn't say that that's the career that I wanted to invest in. It was just, you come from an immigrant household, and your parents kind of put a little bit of pressure on you to get a degree, to get something, right? So at that time, that was my interest, and I graduated, and I had interest in becoming a police officer, but sometimes life doesn't work your way, and I ended up working or getting into a great company here in Canada, the TTC, at a good age, and once I got here, pretty much the floodgates opened. The opportunities were immense, right? I didn't have to go to university to get to where I am here at 37, but a good amount of money to live a comfortable life. I just recently bought property that's almost done, right? So I would say I've done pretty well again without necessarily going to university and education and making school the outright most important things, because like I said, you can be a plumber, you can be a carpenter, you can be a welder, and again you can make as much as a doctor if again you're willing to put in that time and that effort and that work.
Very good, very good. It was funny how you mentioned you went to school. I remember your graduation at Ontario Place. When you graduated, by then you were already working for TTC, wasn't it?
Yes, yes.
So
So
you even started working before you graduated college.
right. So the beautiful thing is, and I think the graduation that you came to was a program I'd finished to help me advance in the TTC. So this wasn't e-
Okay.
this wasn't even related to what I completed in college.
Okay.
So the beautiful thing again about companies here in the country is a lot of them will pay for your education, right? So even though I got into the company at a young age, I was able to take a lot of courses in colleges or university, wherever you wish. And right, they have standards and requirements with grades that you have to achieve. And if you do, they will gladly reimburse you the money for and your time and for the investment and the time. So I had taken a program and I had graduated from it, and I believe that if I'm not mistaken, that's the one you came to. But I might be wrong. You might have come to my police foundation one as well.
Yeah, okay, beautiful. Okay, so basically, the company you work for, TTC, is Toronto Transit
Commission,
Commission, which
right?
is the government, which is the
So
uh,
it's the
the
municipal,
transportation.
right?
Okay, so you getting in at the age of what, 17, 16,
I'm gonna say I got in at the age no 2022. Now
22 years old?
with that said, there are many people that work there now that got in as students. So while they're in university or while they're in college, they have summer student programs where you can do a variety of things. And once you're in there and they have your name, it's pretty much they'll call you next year to see if you're interested, if you've done a good job the previous year. And a lot of them were students for 4 years before they actually got a full time position at the
Okay, beautiful. So basically, let me ask a question though. At your age, at 37, normally in Ghana, at this age, you still live with your parent or
yes.
you're in university. And the only thing that we know to for in terms of job or success is finishing university, and then hopefully you become somebody's like you start working for the government or you start working. So I'm pretty sure, depending on the financial situation for your family back home, you would have been in university or just finishing university, and hopefully you're getting into a job at this age. Can you tell me the difference between Canadian students, a high school, the type of work? Because you actually went to school while you're working. You started working very early on because you started working in one of those summer jobs that I see
Hmm.
opening,
Hmm.
those fairs. I've seen you working at Ontario Place.
Yep.
You used to work there before, and this is summer jobs. What kind of course do you think that one should be or advise us as a parent? As a parent, we want our children to go to university and get a better job. What do you think should be the focus here in terms of succeeding in Canada?
Hmm. So you're 100%. I have, matter of fact, I've always had a job since the age of 13 years old. I've never been unemployed in this country, whether it's winter, fall, summer, always. Right. So again, that brings me back to what I said about the hard work. You have to be willing to work, right? So with the hard work always, when I was in high school, I had a job. When I was in college, I had a job. Even when I was in TTC, I had another job and I was going to school, right? So it was never a situation where, because for me, I understood that I was young, right? I'm not married. I don't have children. I have the time. I have the opportunity because these things become harder to do as you get older. So I'm like, you know what? I have the time. I can do two jobs and I can go to school. So I did it. But my time in college and my time after high school, what I really, really realized was that I really prepared me mentally or career wise to decide what I want to be for in my life. Right. I came out of there lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. One thing I would say is that the trades, right? Electrician, plumbing, welding is extremely underrated. And again, coming from an immigrant household, I feel like my parents don't look at that and value that as high as, again, maybe as accountant or as a dentist or those other careers. But that's not what it's about, especially in this country. You can't, as a parent, the worst thing you can do is try to restrict your child to go the direction that they don't want to go into just to appease you, right? If you just let them actually think about what they want to do, again, if they're willing to put in the work, they can make just that you may want them to be or steer them towards.
Interesting, interesting. So, guys, if you're watching for the first time, Nanata, please share the video. We are sharing, this is note, we're comparing note. A lot of times, as immigrant parents, we came with this mindset that unless your child finishes university, like I'm still trying to get my son to do teaching, because I really think he will be very good as a professor. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree too, because I think he has such a like his everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He feels he has time. What do you think? Because people from back home really are into. For those who didn't go to college or university, is because they couldn't afford it. So really, people are into education a lot, but
Right,
yet there are no job for them.
right.
I like the way you started working at the age of 13. You entered into TTC. TTC, last time I checked their postings,
Hmm.
the pay is really good. TTC, it's like a transportation,
Right.
the Toronto transportation company, and they run the city 24 hours.
Yeah.
Kwame is not a bus driver, but he works within. You started as what? Where? What is the entry level?
So the TTC, as a matter of fact, the story goes like this, and we were both living in the same building at this time.
Mhm.
And I was coming home from my job at that time, which was at the Air Canada Center, where they play basketball and where they play hockey. Right. I was working there since high school, and I was coming home, and then I saw an ad in the lobby of the building, and it just said that they were hiring. Right. So I followed the steps, and the job was just as a cleaner, a simple cleaner. I was like, you know what? It's a progression towards something. Right. Did I have a game plan? Did I have an idea? I didn't. I just know that this is an opportunity that I can't miss. So I applied. I went through. I went to an interview. I went to an area. What are those?
Late. My salsa just fell.
So went to an interview room with like 200 other kids, and
As a cleaner.
yes, right. And it was like this big room. You had four interviewers, and it was pretty much just a rotation. Next person, next person, next person. So they eventually called me a few months later, and I was sweeping trains. This is what I started as, sweeping trains. Not pretty much a janitor, but at where they stored the trains. So once I got in there, believe it or not, I still had aspirations of being a cop. Right? I thought, you know what, let me spend some time here, and I'll start applying again. But then I was like, you know what, I actually like it here. I want to work with the trains. I want to TTC, you can go anywhere. You can be an engineer. They have positions for that. IT, carpentry, plumbing, all these trades I mentioned, they have it all, right? It's not just bus drivers, I think, or streetcars or trains. There's so many things you can do there. So many things, right? Right now, I'm an instructor. I teach, right?
Mechanics, right?
Right, exactly, right. And I teach.
So,
Just
so you're an instructor right now.
I am, I am.
Teaching what?
So a variety of courses. So right now I teach. I'm on the maintenance side, so I don't teach operators. I teach the people behind the scenes who fix them, who move them around. Pretty much how to drive trains. I do some confined space, working with mobile devices, and then we have our yearly just basic training that everybody needs to be recertified every year. Basic track level rules and safety information and things like that. And I just got there.
And you started the entry level cleaning the trains, like sweeping.
Yeah,
I've seen. I've taken the train. I used to work downtown when you were babysitting Derek and Austin. I used to work downtown, so I used to take the train all the time. I see them
yeah.
coming on the train, or no, they clean it before the train moves,
So
right?
just recently changed it to them to have them at the end of the station, the terminals. So they'll just quickly clean them and the train will go back up. But before they were just, yeah, they were in the back behind the scenes. They will clean them when they were parked for the night, and then they'll go back out. So once I got there and I started cleaning, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to fix trains. So then I found the information and the courses I needed to take. And then this is when I started. I started going to school twice a week, 4 hours. I took electrical courses. I took machine shop. I took some welding. I took some hydraulics, and it was all paid for because it was all job related, right? So while I was there,
The city paid you.
the company paid for all of it.
Wow, for you to make more money, basically. It's like an opportunity for you.
Exactly, and for me, again, this is one of those things where I say, as an immigrant, how can I not take advantage of this? You're gonna pay for me to make more money, right? Even if I don't use the certificates or whatever I attain in the colleges that I've gone to, if I don't want to be in this company, these are things that I can use exterior at other companies, right? So even now, as we speak, for this new position as an instructor, I have to get a teaching certificate. It's part of the job. Now, realistically, do I want to do it? I thought by the age of 37, I'd be finished with school, right? So, but I'm still going at it. But I understand that with the certificate, they're paying for it, and it's something I can use outside of here.
Wow. Okay, guys, listen. It's a very interesting, guys. You don't need a university degree. Opportunity is given to you from the age of 13
Yeah.
in this country. You can, in fact, you can work from the age of 13. 16, you can, at the age of 19 or 18, 17, you could be a McDonald's manager. You can be manager at McDonald's at the age of a certain age. I've seen a manager, McDonald manager, or even working for, but our own children works for the city. And Kwame started working for the big Rogers Center
At that time, it was the Air Canada, and now it's the Scotiabank Arena. Yeah. I
arena. Okay,
started there
so
when I was grade 10, so 16.
16, at the age of 16, you were working for the arena. And these are the things I speak about all the time. Our children, like you can, work for recreational
Yeah.
sectors, rec, like, and these people end up working for the city, being the city garbage collectors for the park.
Yeah.
Some people are like, in charge of the park.
Yeah.
And when a brother wanted to stand for as um, a trustee, we were going door to door, and we were going door to door in Mississauga, the area where he wanted to be a trustee. Mississauga, huge houses,
Mm-hmm.
double doors, with
Mm-hmm.
how many garage
Mm-hmm.
facing one guy actually took his time to speak to us. He used to work for he started as at park rec. Park
Mm-hmm.
rec, you're cleaning the park. Summertime is,
Yeah.
this is the time when the college student, high school student get jobs.
Yeah.
And you did just that.
Yeah.
And where did you end up? In the city. The
Yeah.
city, let me tell you something, okay? Besides the your pay rate, your um like your benefit is
Yes.
ridiculously attractive.
Great benefits, right? The pension's also great. And again, the pay is great. And you mentioned, you just talked about those big houses in Mississauga. I used to clean windows at the bridle path. I would just go, me and my buddy would go to grab a van, soak it up in soap and water. We have our ladders. We would just drive to the bridle path. We have certain houses we're supposed to clean. We'll go on these ladders. I'm afraid of heights, and I'm squeegeeing windows, right? And it's just one of those things that you can't you can't be here and complain. You
You-
can't,
I like that. I
right?
like
You can't, because you do have an opportunity. You have an opportunity. You have a great opportunity, right? Is it going to be peachy? Is it going to be nothing? Anything in life worth having is ever, right? So you come here, you work hard, and good things, and that's what I feel like. Always just any opportunity that came my way, I felt like it was a progression. Did I know where it was going to lead me? I didn't know, but I'm like, you know what? This is definitely going to. I feel good things about this direction, so I'm gonna go this way.
Very good. Ojo, let's talk about the type of work, because a lot of immigrants that get here, the first thing they want to do is bury themselves in a factory.
Yes.
I mean, you grew up here. You were not born here. You
No.
grew up here, but with hard work. And then we're gonna get it, guys. Wait, okay? Because he's gonna talk about his plans for retirement, and you guys will be shocked. Let me tell you something. I've seen young as 53 retiring, and I know someone who's retiring at 54, and
Hmm.
because they work for the same company for 30 years
Yeah.
and they're leaving the school. And do you know how much money they're going to be getting every 2 weeks, every month? It's equivalent to how much money they're making right now, just because they stuck to the same company. What, like, if people come here from Ghana and then they bury themselves in a factory and then they find themselves staying there, by the time they realize it's 18 years, 10 years, and they're being used, they speak a little bit of English. What kind of, and then nothing, there's nothing. Those factories don't have, they don't contribute towards your early retirement. Every factory do not contribute towards your early retirement.
Mhm.
They don't raise their pay. They're in a position that is not competitive, so it doesn't go up like yours. You see where you entered, and the opportunity was given to you to switch your position
Right.
from cleaning subways, the long trains, cleaning them, to now instructor.
Hmm.
Which company do you think one should be focusing on? Not education, be
Right.
willing to grow.
Right.
Where do you think the starting point should be in terms of working for which organizations?
So I 100% agree with you. Factory world, factory life is not the solution here, right? In my time, did I spend a little bit of time at the factory? 100%. But it was a step. It wasn't an end goal. You are not going to achieve anything fruitful working for somebody in a factory environment, right? Your welfare, your rights, all these things, they don't exist, right? The best place or the best thing you can do is work for the city. Anything, get your name in the city's information system. Like you said, join a park, right? Become a rec at a community center. There's all these things. You can work with kids, you can work with elderly, you can work with whoever the case is, right? A company like mine, the TTC, which is as big as it is, it offers a pension. So when I work, the amount of dollars that I put in, they will match it. So 30 years, let's say I work 30 years, I put in whatever I put in, they're going to match it for me, right? Now, was that something that I was working towards? No. It's not like I came to this country and it's like, yeah, you know what? I want to get a career, I want to get a job that pays me for 30 years and so I can retire with a pension. Now, I have one and I'm so appreciative of it. But that doesn't stop me from, again, putting myself in a situation where I can do more, right? Um, so you mentioned about the whole pension and then the retirement thing. So again, even though I have a great job, it's still a job. It
Mhm.
means that I be there at this time and I have to finish at this time, even though I've advanced. This is something that throughout my 14 years I've been right now, I have realized that, you know what, as beautiful as this is, and this is what I would like to retire with, if that's what I want to be able to retire at an earlier age, right? I got into the TTC at about 22, 23, meaning that I can retire at about 52, 53. Right. That's not a bad age at all. If you told somebody that right now, they will jump on it at the moment. There are people that are just getting good jobs at the age of 40 or at the age of 50.
Mhm.
The fact that I can realistically stop having to work because I put in 30 years into a pension that is not going to pay me similarly to what I was making monthly is what everybody aims for. But I want to do this when I'm so young, right? When I can move. I'm not saying like it won't happen at 50, but when I still there's a there's that life in me, right? Because one thing that before I continue, I will say about this country is there is that poison where, in my mind, they feed you that whole 30 years. Even if you get into a good career at the age of 20, that's still till 50.
Mhm.
To a good career at the age of 30, that's still 60. Now, if you work till 60, at what functioning situation or position will your body be in to be even able to enjoy that money that you've worked 30 years for?
Mhm.
So yes, it's beautiful that you have this light at the end of the tunnel, but what physical state will you be in to be able to even enjoy that money at that age? So my thing is, you know what? Let me plan something. Let me figure out something that gets me to enjoy and get to that part earlier than the age of 50 or the age of 60, right? So on my own, I have started to cut hair, right? It's something that I have truly picked up. I wish I did this when I was much younger. Th- I
um,
wish- This is something, again, going back to what you should get into university. I wish this was something that I did in my early 20s, right? If you realistically think about it, it's a profession that you can do anywhere in the world. It's a profession that it doesn't matter where you are, will always be in demand, always, right?
so basically, guys, listen, we are talking about opportunities in Canada. How easily it is for you to be a millionaire. Okay. It is so easy. Only if our children will listen and sometimes, challenge themselves a little bit. Like Kwame, you have really challenged yourself because you started very early. I remember you and your friends used to come, Auntie, do you have uh, um, palm oil? And then Kwame will be like working. I've never seen you at home. You've always been working. So that actually proves how you are going to end up.
Hmm.
The options in this country allows you to venture in so many things, and that's where what he was going to get through. The average Ghanaian don't think like this, okay? The average Ghanaian don't think like that. Oh, let me stay in a job till 60. They don't think like that. They never think 60 will even come.
Yeah,
Or what would they be doing? How much strength would they have
yeah.
at the age of 60?
Hmm.
What are you going to be capable of? Because the only thing with the average Ghanaian thinks about, I'm going to retire back in Ghana. Then I asked myself, when you were young, and Ghana has such a wonderful opportunities for young, strong men,
Hmm.
eh, to dig the ground, eh?
Hmm.
You came and ran into Canada. But when you get old and not able to tilt the ground, you're gonna go to a country that has no infrastructure and nothing for you to do, even
Hmm.
mowing your yarn. You're gonna have to go pay another person to mow, like mow your yarn for you, or your yard for you, or go and buy you something. Where at the age of certain age, you get a lot of discounts. Even when you go want to go to the community center here to go swim,
Yeah,
as a 53, you have discount.
yeah.
At the age of 60, you have extra discount. 70, even more discount. You are immobile, you can apply for city mobility, like those wheelchair transportation for them to come and pick you up from home, go do
Mm.
your grocery. The average Ghanaian don't think about that. But what you're thinking about for your future is what? How you can leverage your time as you're growing older, the
Mm.
things you want to enjoy. Tell me a little bit about that. What is the option Canada actually also gives you when, just into your retirement?
Right. And that's a good point. I don't think a lot of Ghanaians think about that retirement aspect. And back home, the 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 health benefits that you receive in this country as an elder is immense. There's so many, your medication, a lot of it is paid for, right? Like you said, mobile devices. You need someone to come and take care of you, or look. An in-house nanny, or sorry, a nurse. They have all these opportunities for you. The whole idea and the whole mentality is, when you stop working or when you go back home, you're not working. But in order to do that, you have to have money saved. You have to have some sort of income coming in, right? And that's the whole idea. Is I have this job right now that if I stay at 30 years, I will have all this income coming in. That's no problem if that's what I want, right? But I want it earlier. I want it sooner. And the only way I can achieve it sooner is actually work towards it, or
Mm-hmm.
come up with a plan to achieve it sooner. It's not just gonna fall on my lap, right? It's not just gonna fall on my lap. So again, going back to the barbering, I have a plan to become a business, to become mobile. And with that said, the income that I've incurred from TTC, I've been able to buy some property. I'm going to use that property as an investment, right? These there has to be. So they say that the average millionaire has about 7 sources of income, 6 or 7 sources, meaning you have money coming from 6 to 7 different places. It's not just going to come from one, right? So the time that you have, that you're young and you're able and you're strong, that's the time that you use that that energy to find these sources. You try different things, whether it's a business, whether it's an investment, whether it's a stock market, whatever it is. But in order to make money, you have to have money, right? So you have to be able to get up, go, make your money, work. Okay, now what am I going to do with this money? I'm going to use this money now to make more money,
Mm-hmm.
right? So while that is also happening on the side, when I stop working, you also have to have something in your life that you do that brings you joy, hobbies, interest.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a double whammy, a double. It's very good if that hobby also brings in an income,
Mm-hmm.
right? And again, like I was saying, I've been fortunate that cutting hair is something that I've discovered in the last 4 years that I love to do. I mean, it brings me so much joy, and the amount of money that you can make from cutting hair is,
Mm.
I mean, easy. You can, if you're good enough, you can make an easy $2,000 a week,
How much?
$2,000, and that's the lower end.
$2,000 a week. That's the lower, the basic.
If you're a good barber and you have your clientele, you can make a solid $2,000 a week, right?
Tell me a little bit about the type of opportunity as in terms of investment. Guys, listen, share the video, okay? Because we don't think about all these things. Okay, the first generation Ghanaian Canadians who feel we sort of chase our own tails without really making anything, building wealth.
Mhm.
That's not in our vocabulary. This is a Canadian actually thinking about what hobby, building hobby, what
Mm.
building who hobby. They don't even know how to go to the gym. We have such a big community center right here with huge swimming pool. I'm sure there are Ghanaians in this area, but none of them take
Yeah.
advantage of that. And now you're talking about retiring early so you can take your retirement money and get a hobby and make money from your hobby.
Yes.
What are some of the things, investment, opportunity for investment? What have you done so far that has, set you up for this successful, and please just go by in terms of money, dollar. What
Right.
is the investment? What did you invest?
So first and foremost, again, I'm going to say that in order to invest, you have to have the money, right? Now, the good thing about this country is the you can use other people's money. And what I mean by that is you can use the bank's money. You can get loans. In our culture, we get loans just like everybody else, but we use it on selfish things. We don't use them to make more money, right? You can get line of credits, you can get a whole bunch of funds that you can use to again put in the stock market. You can use to buy the property, down payment on things, right? My the condo I bought right now, I bought it in 2018 for about $463,000, right? And because I was able to save, right? How was I able to save? I sacrificed. What did I sacrifice? My privacy. What do I mean? I stayed at home. I didn't move out, right? There's this idea here that when you get to a certain age that you have to leave home and go rent somewhere. At the end of the day, I stayed home and I saved all my money. I'm still at home as we speak, right? Is it hard sometimes? It is, but I have the bigger picture. I'm not doing this for now. I'm doing this for in the future. So with the extra money I was able to save by not paying rent and having to give my money to just somebody, just I decided, right, I was able to save it and allowed me to pay the 20% down for this condo. I paid for this condo. Now, over the since from 2018 to it's easily incurred, right? An asset of about 200,000 at least. Invest
So you made $200,000 in just less than 2 years,
uh,
5 years,
about 3 years, yeah, 4 years.
3 years,
And
two hundred thousand dollars.
this is me not doing anything. And
You
this
you you just paid what? 20% of 460,000 is
is
about
about
what?
90,
40 something,
it's about no, it's about $90,000.
$95,000.
Yes, but and this that number is the biggest reason why a lot of people can't do this. They don't have that down payment, right? And this is why a lot of people don't buy property and they just decide to rent. Is that 20%? Now you can pay 5%, but there are all these fees and things you want to pay. At the end of the day, you don't want to just give money away, right? So you have to be able to save your money to position yourself to make even more money. If I just bought this one property and now it made me $200,000 in 5 years, 4 years. If I get another property, now I have two properties making me $300,000 every 5 years. If I get another property, now I have three making me 200. This is me doing nothing. So now if I have that money coming in, it brings me my hobby because in life you have to do something. You can't just wake up and just no, it doesn't work. And that's where the business of cutting hair comes in because now that I have all these hundreds of thousands coming in, I don't have to do this. I choose to do this when I want, where I want. I can wake up today and go cut hair. You know what? I don't feel like it today. You know what? Let me go to this country for 1 month. I still have this hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in. The properties are making money for me, right? Another one are stock markets. I'm pretty new to the stock market game. So what I do and what you should do in life is something that you're not knowledgeable in. You associate yourself with people that are knowledgeable, right? I want to eventually make this barbering a business. What do? I go to gyms where there are a lot of businessmen or women, right? Put myself, start a conversation, see where it goes. Network. The biggest thing in this world is who you know. Network is everything. You have the right pleasant conversation with the right person and they will help you or they will guide you. They will give you their tips. How did they get there? I talk to very successful barbers all the time. I want to know how they got there because I want to be successful. I see people driving nice cars, lots of property. What? How did they do this? It's very doable. I'm seeing this with my eyes. These people, there are a lot of rich people in this world driving expensive cars. How? That's the question you should ask yourself is how are they doing this? Because if they did it, I'm telling you, we can do it too.
Huh. Guys, listen, this is not the Ghana uh, polit- like politicians money, or being a young guy doing some shady stuff where you can't even account for your money, or you have to be part of some cartel or some bandits, or
All accounts, you know. No, this is just straight.
yeah, this is work, like being availing yourself and also networking yourself in a system, and wanting to work.
Yes.
So again, this is just for you to know, it's
Hmm.
not about the university courses that you take, because I'm sure you have a brother, right? I know your older brother, I know he graduated from York University.
Schulich, he masters everything,
He has masters.
right? Couldn't
But
get,
guess who is making the money now?
couldn't get a job, right?
Kwame.
And one thing that I also want to add is, so before I became an instructor, I was fixing trains. Now, where I worked, it was the same people, the same building every day. Nothing changed. I'm like, man, this isn't going to work for me. One of the main reasons why I decided to become an instructor is because, again, networking. I am exposed to so many people. I'm exposed to CEOs in the TDC. I'm exposed to COOs. I'm exposed to engineers. I'm exposed to people that I would never be exposed to as a mechanic where I'm working. Right? They see me in front of the classroom. They see how I speak. They see how I teach. It's what I mean. You have to put yourself in these positions. I didn't just become an instructor for the money. Yes, 100%. It's a pay raise, but
Mhm.
it's an opportunity to be visible to a whole variety of people that would not see me otherwise in the TTC if I was kept working where I was working. I'm
Wow.
at a different location, meeting supervisors, meeting forepersons, meeting people that work in plumbing, people that work in electrician. So now I network with them. Hey, you know, if I have a friend that wants to get a job in here, what should they do? Okay, don't tell them to do this, whatever the case is. You just don't know, but you have to be able to engage in conversation, talk, be around people that you feel will help you succeed, right?
Exactly.
And it just kind of things just start naturally happening.
Exactly. Exactly. That's really good what you just said. Networking yourself. Not sometimes you're not at a place where you want to be necessarily, but just for other people too. And also while you're paving ways for other people, you're actually growing in whatever you want to do later. And I think with the barbering, guys, in this country, people has a good job. A lot of people make a lot of money, and these people sometimes get home a bit late. Okay, I even got myself this shopping pin where I wanted to deliver groceries
Yes.
to people who don't have time to go to groceries. There's a whole bunch of them. A whole
Yes.
bunch of teachers I work with don't cook. They
Yep.
just go buy already mixed up food plated. If it's meat, a little bit of meat, a little bit of vegetables, there's so much business opportunity to be made out here, especially if you're creative. So Kwame, I like the fact that you said you're doing mobile barbering, because a lot of people want the comfort of their home, you to come in,
Yes.
and business opportunity down that road is a lot, because people are getting themselves busy in this part of the world.
Yes.
So a little bit of, this
So
weekend,
so
I'm
now
somebody to make me a jollof rice.
yeah, exactly.
Listen, you know my jollof rice, but you know what? I'm so tired. I know someone who does just like me. So I said, listen, girl, you gotta make me something this weekend. If I find someone who makes soup like the way I do it, I just pay the money, over $200. You go make it for me.
Yeah.
So I really like it. Do you have anything to advise any young one in Canada or outside Canada, if they're coming into the country new, the type of profession or how to sort of start conversation, basically, who to mingle with. Listen, guys, don't stay with the same people you left back home. Do not stay with the same people, the same circle of friends you left them back home, because they're not going to teach you anything. You need to move into other communities too. Any last word?
Yes. Again, what you just said it there, the networking, right? I have a job. Eventually, I'm going to be getting money from that pension. That's one source of income. I have my condo. That's two sources. I'm talking about the mobile barbering. That's three sources. Me and you have vaguely had conversations about a restaurant. That's possibly four, right? Stock market, five. This is what I mean. You just have to keep planning and just have an idea. The barbering. I've I've recently just joined a gym, right, in a very rich neighborhood, right? Is the membership a little bit? It is, but I'm doing it because I know the people that work out at that gym have some of this, right? You need to be putting yourself. People without this, if I'm trying to do a business, it doesn't help me, right? You got to put yourself in that environment, take yourself and plan yourself right in there. If business is what you want to do, surround yourself with businessmen or women. If accounting is what you want to do, surround yourself with those people. If you want to become a carpenter, a plumber, that's what you want to do. In this country, a trade job. Trades are again construction, plumbing. It's work. They pay very well, and again, great benefit. You can get your teeth clean. You can get your teeth fixed. You can go for massages. Your shoulders hurting. They'll pay for you to get physio.
Hey, you just reminded me. Oh, I stayed home the whole day. I booked for massage. I didn't go.
Right? So
Free, oh, free massage,
free,
free
free. And these are things that if you don't use, it just gets
glasses. Glasses.
this
This
goes
is
away.
worth of five something,
Yeah,
$500 free.
glasses, right? My company gives us a voucher, a little certificate to go buy clothes to work.
I
Like, it's,
get the stockings for vein.
yes,
I get what the shoe
products, yes, yes,
yeah, orthotics every year, like $400. Will you and your family go
yep.
spend it up? You know, get
And
about $1,600 for your orthotic shoe.
and you're not getting this at the factory.
No.
And we're gonna say this: the factory is maybe a step, but you cannot wake yourself up. So last thing that I'll say is why I have this mentality that I have now is
Mhm.
so when I got into the TTC, right, I pretty much said to myself, hey, these guys have me for 40 hours out of the week. They have me. If they have me for 40 hours out of the week, I have to make as much money as I can. It's just that simple. You have me 40 hours of the week. Why would I make $30 an hour if I could make 50? I'm gonna be there for that same 40 hours anyways. And that's my mentality right now. I'm an instructor now. They still have me for 40 hours. Why would I make this much if I could make more? Right? TTC is a good job, but it is not my life. It pays me a good enough amount of money that allows me to enjoy the things that make me happy outside of life. Right? So I go there and I understand what it's there for.
Mhm.
There for me to rest, to make an income. So then when I drive through the gates and go home and live life, I can go to the gym, I can go dancing, I can take dance classes, I can learn to cut hair, I can go on vacation, I can do all these things, right? I can buy property, I can invest in stock markets. That's what that TTC is there for, to finance all these other sources so I can make money, use the money to make more money.
Mhm. Hmm. Well, thank you very much, Odro. That's really, really eye-opening. I never even, one thing I've learned is as you're growing, build your own habit, like just build something that you love to do. And that's what I'm actually going to, I've been thinking along that line, but I never thought about hobby. And I
Yeah.
think I'm sort of standing in between. You know, when you grew up in Ghana, you're so multitasked and
Yeah.
so multi-talented. They make you do everything. So I find myself multi-talented. I think I am multi-talented. I can either branch into cooking and
Yes.
feed people's soul and make them feel good about themselves, or I can offer service
Yeah.
of something of that sort. So I'm standing in between that. I've enrolled myself. I'm taking classes. This year I'm going to go in full time. I'm going to see how I can juggle between work. But let's see how the
Yeah.
school deals with me and my absence. I'm going to pay tuition. But thank you so much, and I've learned a lot today. I'm thinking about my retirement and also when and what I'm going to do
Yeah.
at a certain age, because I'm seeing people retiring at the age of 54, 57 because they've been in the same company since very early on. I work with UPS. UPS again. So if you're coming here after 30, you need to start thinking right now what kind of profession you should step into, especially those of you who are coming here after 40.
Yeah.
You're coming to the country after 40. You need to speak to the right people. You
Yeah.
need to
Not
really,
not factory.
not a factory. You can't come here at the age of 40
No.
and go into factory work. You need to speak to the right people. I mean, at least like a construction worker
Yes.
or a truck driver or a plumber or a carpenter or something, but not a farmer. They make over $70 per hour.
Yeah.
Ghanaians
Yeah.
making over $70 per hour in this country, and that's not easy. But the thing is, also, find a way you can invest in
Yeah.
this country. Let Canada be part of Canada. Build the wealth with Canada. You get dibi naming dibi. I don't
Yeah.
know what promo how. Not you, I chop, you watch me. That's
Yeah.
not what is in this country. Dibi naming dibi. Invest. Investment in this country has a huge return. Huge. You just bought a house. Kwame just bought a house and he's already made over $200,000 less than 4 years.
Mhm.
So listen, it's ridiculous, but it is true. This is not juju. This is Canada juju.
Mhm.
Canada way. So guys, if you want to know how to invest, we have right now. I'm connecting to a lot of Ghanaians who are doing well. A gentleman called me because he has his house turned into a shelter. Brilliant,
Mm.
a brilliant idea. And something I said I wanted to open up like a home away from home. You know,
Mm.
so many of African or black people get apprehended, or and they end up in a White House or a Chinese house, somewhere that they're not familiar with. uh,
Right.
Culture differences. So this gentleman is doing just that in Ottawa. So he called me. I'm going to interview him too. So Kwame, thank you
Nice.
so much for your time. That
Or
was a very good interview. I
thank you.
hope, yeah, the jollof is finished.
Finished. It didn't last. It was the moment I entered the house, it was finished.
Wow.
I know they loved it. It was so good. So good.
Well, I have a video I'm going to be posting. It's a repeat. This one is a simple one. But anytime, Kwame, if you want me to do more, why do you want to do it? You have to pay us to do it. You have to hire a cook, a
Yeah.
hand. You have enough money. You don't need to do it. So yeah, don't waste your time. Let me
That
do it for you.
that's the whole eventual plan is you right? This is it, and you just pay them and that's it.
Exactly. So don't worry. Your aunties are here. I will do it for you. And hello, Millicent. Welcome. Thank you so much, Kwame. And we'll be talking.
Okay.
So, guys, thank you for watching. If you have not yet shared the video, please share the video, okay? Because we have such a wealthy information for you. And information is everything. That's all you need. That's all you need. In order for you to get something, you need information. In order for you to achieve something, you need the information. And this is just that. We want to bring you more from Canada, from the US. I want to visit Ghanaians who has purchased property, farm property. Kwame, if you know somebody who has a farm property, I want to think that we are discovering Canada as we should have. So let me know if you have any friends like that. I'll be more than happy to come to their house.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. We'll
From
talk again and share the video.